70th edition of the U.S. Nationals is presented by Peak. Peak original equipment technology matches all vehicle manufacturers' antifreeze technology requirements, and Peak has the perfect match for your vehicle. With their line of premium coolants specifically designed to match the technology and color requirements of your specific vehicle. Color cues on the packaging and a label and a list of covered vehicles make it easier to identify the right match for your vehicle. Find more information about all Peak antifreeze and coolants at peakauto.com or the link below. And be sure to sign up for a Peak US Nationals giveaway contest where we're giving away 3 swag bags from our friends at Peak Performance. Winners will be announced during Monday's recap video of the US Nationals. You know, at the beginning of this, you talked about the induction in the Motorsports Hall of Fame. First of all, congratulations on that. Huge honor. In the span of your career, you know, with everything you've done, has it really sank in and felt real yet that you're in these conversations with the talks of, like, not just Don Prudhomme, Don Garlits, and John Force, but you're now in the same ranks of the AJ Foyts and the Mario Andretti's? Does that feel real that you're in that upper echelon, next level, like Mount Rushmore of racing icons?
It does not. I think I always said in the middle of my career where I was just winning, that when it stopped, I'll have time to think about it. Right now, we're just focused on the next win and making it, you know, unequalable, where whoever comes after will have a hard time surpassing the numbers. And I had a few years off then to think about it and to think about what I had done. And it was pretty nice to sit back. I wasn't trying to be off, just didn't have a sponsor. I was trying to get back in the seat. And now I'm back and I'm rolling again. And you forget about that stuff because you're focused on the next win. The next time you can run fast. What's keeping you from doing it? How do you get back to that? But those names are the names you hear in songs, you know? Mario Andretti, AJ Foyt, those guys are and will always be to me on a different level. And I think what keeps you fighting every week is that there's people out there on a different level that you're always reaching for. You're always trying to get there.
I talked about kind of back at Bristol, especially after you won that race. One of my questions to you was, do you really get to stop and appreciate these wins now that they don't come as often? One of the things I asked Gage Herrera, who's right now on that same kind of path that you had, where he's just out there destroying the competition every time he sees them, is stopping and being able to appreciate it. You just talked about, you know, you're still looking forward. How hard is it to do that while still trying to find time to reflect on what you've been able to accomplish already in your career as you've been doing so far?
That's a good question. I don't sit back and ponder. I joke with my wife about things like when we got here, I said, when we get out of the car, we're probably going to get mauled because I've won Indy 10 times, joking. And she goes, oh, God, that's like the Dallas Cowboys. The people here, they weren't born when you won those races. So we throw each other back and forth, and you know, the accomplishments we've had are fantastic. I mean, the run was a great part of history, but that's back here, you know. Now it's time to do something else. And I thought when we formed this team with Maynard and we hired Zippy back, we will get there. It's taken longer. I know why. We found some issues this week. People always say that, but saying it and knowing what we found, I can't talk about it, but clearly an issue for several years, and we're going to get back to those winning things. And I think sometimes it's fun where people go, oh, well, you've been off for 3 years, you're not getting back there, because it's kind of like a circle. There's a bottom where you're down here, and there's a top when you're here. Like, you know, Gage is right here. There'll be a time where he's here, and that's cool. We go in, you know, they change rules. We lose our focus, this, that, but then we get back here. And as long as this keeps moving, and you can go through the undulating hills and get back to that top and never stop thinking you're going there. Like, I have no doubt we'll win a championship at some point. Will it be this year, next year? I don't know. I have no doubt we're going to win several more races. I have no doubt that we'll go on another reign of terror because I know Zippy. I know Mike Neff. I know Phil Schuler. I know John and all them guys, and when they get it right and it's close, they're tough to beat. I've been with them before. So I look forward to getting back there, look forward to setting those goals high. And someday, I do have a Mario Andretti trophy at home, and it's one of my absolute prized possessions because it was delivered by Mario himself. 2009, he brought it to me and said, and he, you know, when a man like that delivers a trophy and he chooses you over all other sports, and he goes, here is an award that I'm choosing you, and here's why. And a guy like Mario Andretti and sat down in a board with other people in a boardroom and talked about who they were going to choose, picked me, and had the reasons listed. That's when those moments, small moments throughout your life like that, where you go, the fact that Mario Andretti knows my name is pretty cool. AJ Foyt knows my name is pretty cool. There's people watching on TV that we don't know. You know, I told my wife, she loves Keanu Reeves, and I said, you know, he might know who you are. He sees you on TV with me. Don't lose faith, baby. He's your crush. It's okay. You know, it's one of those things like our sport may not be as big as NASCAR, but it's big enough for me. I love looking up at the stands and seeing it jam-packed, and I love knowing we're in the baddest cars in the world, and I know that a guy like Mario Andretti and AJ Foyt knows who we are because of our accomplishments. Makes me proud.
I have one last question.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't remember, and you alluded to it earlier, you've won championships with 3 different crew chiefs. Fourth one maybe is not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, no, we won with 3 different. So 3 different crew chiefs in Top Fuel, which is mighty funny because I don't live through social media, but a lot of people base so much off of it. I read stuff, and it'll say, oh, you know, Schumacher's won this. And then someone will comment, well, better thank Alan Johnson for that. And I go, pause, love Alan Johnson. Respect the heck out of the man. He just, you know, one of the best in the business. But I beat him. I beat him before. I beat him after he left. I won a lot of stuff with him. And I had different crew chiefs that equaled what he did at certain points. So it's not one person. We were a seriously unbeatable team together. With those guys that worked on that car, we were really good. But I did win it with other people. I won it with a Dan Olson. I won it with a Mike Green. And I was going to win it with Zippy if the Army deal didn't go away, because we finished number 2, and we were getting better and stronger every day. So, again, it's not me, but we're good at putting teams together and letting them do their job. And if that's my specialty, that's my specialty. I've learned it from the greatest, you know, team owners in the world.
So one of the things I'm interested in is, so you just added Ida Zetterstrom to your guys' lineup. She finally made her debut back at Brainerd. You know, did pretty good, I would say, making all the way to the semifinals in her first outing, kind of back to what you did back in the U.S. Nationals when you made your debut. How important is it to have her, your guys' stable, not only just with what she's been able to accomplish, but having you now as a mentor role, but also now having a second car for data that you can get when you go out there for the qualifying runs?
I'm not sure the data is going to be the same. Oh, it was funny because before, if you would ask me this 2 weeks ago, I said the data is not going to be the same because the cars are seriously built a little different. And then we ran the first run and we were 1,000th off. You know, you go, really? 2 different drivers do different car different everything, not manufactured, but different parts and different pieces, and 1,000th off. And then, it could be where we can gain from each other. I've been part of lots of teams. Antron Brown's been my teammate forever. I've had several teammates that have worked together. It's hard to get cars to run alike. Sometimes it's a deficit more than a beneficial piece of data. If the crews don't have time to evaluate it and they're trying to replicate, it gets a little confusing. But, you know, look at Torrance. And now you got even Alan Johnson's cars, right? Both those cars are running really similar. So if you can get them running right and use that data, it's fantastic. But it can get complicated if you're not sharing all the information, or if the information's irrelevant. It becomes 75 minutes in between rounds of overabundance of knowledge, and you got to know how to work it. So.
The big question for the weekend is, are you going to mix her fuel?
No, she can still mix. She's going to mix her fuel, and no, I'm not going to mix. I don't mix mine. I'm not good at math.
We had a big discussion about that. She said, well, I was mixing his fuel, and everybody kept asking me, are you Tony's girlfriend? Are you Tony's fuel mixer? And
Yeah.
I said, I don't want to be the Tony Mommy's fuel girl. I want to be the driver.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll force him to.
Yeah, come mix her. I would always do that. She was great.
Very last question, because I know you need to go. One of the big stories all year that I've been interested in is the drivers' reactions to where these two fuel classes are. Matt Hagan, Justin Ashley, Steve Torrance have all talked about it. In your position where you've went on that domination tear through the 2000s and the 2010s, where is this fuel class at for you right now? Because I talked to Matt Hagan, he said, there's no more gimme rounds in either classes. Where is that at for you? Just how lethal and competitive is top fuel at now compared to what it was when you first got into the game?
So earlier today they asked, you can move up a few spots or down a few spots. I don't think it matters one bit. I don't think if you're number 1 or number 10, you can win the championship. That's how nasty it is. If you win the next 6 races, you're going to be the champ. It don't matter where you're starting in this thing. There are the baddest. I've never seen anything like this before. They are the most equal teams, the most difficult to beat, and I'm proud to represent, man. Like, I'm just glad to be here for this reign of terror. My words will always be dead serious here. The fans are winning right now. We don't know who the driver will win this race. I think it's going to be me, but we don't know who's going to win, but the fans are going to win because they're going to see absolute fantastic Monday racing at Indy. Like, they're going to pay their money, they're going to walk out with their ticket, and they're going to feel like they owe more money, and that is truly the greatest kind of fan.